everyone, and welcome back to Napoleon Total War. So, as per usual, we had a vote on what mod to play and what nation to do. And the nation, of course, was France. It won with about 40% of the votes. And then it was technically Napoleon Total War 3 that won the mod vote. However, I've played that mod like 7 or 8 campaigns at this point, and I really would like something new instead. And so it was brought to my attention in the comment section, but also the mod creator of the Eras mod for Napoleon Total War reached out and said, hey, check out my mod. This one is actually so fresh. The latest update was 15 hours ago when I'm recording this. That's how fresh it is. The Eras mod divides the Napoleonic War into even more different campaigns than before. So you have, I think it's like 3 just for the early, like revolutionary wars in the late 1700s, and then it splits it up all along the way. The one that was recommended, though, was 1815, Napoleon's comeback tour at the highest possible difficulty. Perfect timing there with the music. That's what we're going to do. I hope you're not too upset with me for taking the executive decision of changing out which mod we're going to play. But I felt like we need something fresh, and you guys kinda keep suggesting the same thing over and over again. So I think we'll all be pleased with this. And we're still playing France, which won 40% of the vote. So it's the comeback tour. Let's see if we can make a real comeback. Let's go ahead and start this new campaign. Now, I've already gone ahead and test played this campaign for a little bit. I wanted to get a little bit of a feel of it. So, I mean, that was kind of funny, my reaction to going into the diplomatic tab and realizing that literally everyone is at war with me. It was kind of a shock. We have a handful of nations that are not at war with us. The Greeks. We have Curland, and then we have our ally, which is the south of Italy here. Everyone else, though, is at war with us. So, a little bit overwhelming, and I don't even control all of France. We have the king has taken over Brittany. So, we even got the old monarchy coming back. And then in terms of our logistics system, I mean, this place is on fire. And we got no roads anywhere, almost. Like, we've got dirt roads everywhere. Or in a lot of locations. The ports are not set up anywhere, almost. So we need to build that up. There's a few other areas as well, as I remember. This area right here. Let's build a market over there for the piggies. And that's what I'm going to do in terms of the infrastructure. Then we're going to go ahead and take a look at what armies we have. So we have a few armies around, but they definitely need to be bolstered in terms of size. We have Grouchy in Paris with about 1,200 men. Then we have Suchet here on the border with the Germans with about 1,200. Marshal Ney with 800 men, 900, following Napoleon. We've got Naval in the south with 800 men. We got Napoleon with his bodyguard, and I think Polish lances, and then his bodyguard. And then we've got a few units of militia here and there out in the countryside. So not a lot of troops when we're expecting to face the entirety, literally everyone in Europe, more or less. In terms of the fleet, we only have trade fleets left. So we have a trade fleet here doing ivory. And then we have one there and then one here. I think we're going to consolidate them. And I think we're going to try and... I don't know where to move them. There's nowhere really within the Mediterranean that is safe. We even got actually the Danish Navy right over here that possibly could attack us right away. So I'm not even sure that I will be able to keep any of this. With all of that spent, we still have 9,000 left, and it's going to be important to get troops out. So I want to bolster a few areas. Down here we've got nothing, so we're going to get 3 Fusiliers just to make any kind of resistance. Then down here in Toulouse we've got Naval, and I'm thinking it's probably best to strike fast and hard right off the beginning to try and get some headway, like move into the enemy's territory rather than wait for him to come to us. So let's add, there we go, there, 3 Fusiliers for Naval, and he can go attacking the Spanish. Then up here is Strasbourg. We of course have Louis Gabriel Suchet. A little bit of a better army, lots of guard units in his army, but still we need to bolster everything really. So I'm thinking he gets 2 Fusiliers, and then we've got 1 Fusilier here, a special regiment, the 18th regiment. So we'll go ahead and recruit them. Ney is on his way with Napoleon here somewhere, and they can kind of rally here before they go on to attack the Belgians. And we're gonna give them, add on to their force, 3 Fusiliers. Now currently I can't move Grouchy's force, but Grouchy is definitely gonna go after Bretagne. He's not gonna need any more troops, but I'm still gonna recruit an extra few Fusiliers, I'm thinking, so that I can send them with Napoleon and his troops up here. And then as we proceed into the next turns, we'll see about getting more specialized troops for a number of these armies. In terms of I mean, I can see about getting trade, but I think trade through the sea lanes is going to be very unlikely, and yeah, everyone's super unhappy with us. So it's very unlikely no one went for that trade. In terms of the ministers, I mean, they're okay, I guess. Except for Talleyrand. Talleyrand has to go. We can definitely get someone better in there, because currently 1 minus prestige per turn, -6 diplomatic relation, and minus wealth. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pick up all of these so we can open up. That looks like, isn't this George Washington? And I think the other one was a Austrian diplomat, I'm pretty sure. Right, we got this guy in there, and let's go ahead and take a look just at what are my lists. So we've gone through that, we've gone through regions, agents. Where do I have? I have all these guys in Orléans. Tons of people, actually. Tons of gentlemen, all in Orléans. But then we also have 2 spies. One in the Greater Poland region. Don't really need them there. I need them to be my eyes ahead of the possible invasions that I'm looking at. So preferably I would have one of the spies making it all the way to Spain. I don't know if that's going to be likely, so it could be that I'm sending one to Italy instead, and then I need another one up here. So we're going to send them that. So the spies are on the way. In terms of technology, currently I can't select anything. I'll be able to select it next turn. But as you can see, as it's late campaign, most of the stuff is already done. There isn't going to be a lot of these. They're going to be super necessary, I imagine. So we're not going to put a lot of focus on trying to do that. First things first is going to be to kind of stabilize, get the armies up and running, and then see about attacking. What I'm thinking is what I did in my test run is I invaded the Belgians first. That is the one that looks the most promising. And with that, let's go ahead and end our first turn and start this comeback tour of Napoleon. Immediately we get a peace offer from the new king, Ilbert, the 18th. He's weak and destitute, and I have no sympathy for that bastard. Go back into exile, you absolute bastard. Right, unfortunate here, we've got the Batavic Republic, the Netherlands, bring their navy to attack. It's their trade navy. So it's 3 Dutch Eastierman. They seem to have a lot of guns, 58 guns. I'm heavily outgunned here. And also, their commander seems to be quite more skilled at the sea. I want to see if I can try and salvage my navy. Maybe I should have moved it right off the bat, but here we go. The first battle of this campaign is actually going to be a naval battle. a result of that battle, it ended up with me losing one of my trade ships, but my fleet stayed intact. The enemy, though, lost their entire fleet. They decided rather to set their own fleet on fire than to give it over to me. I'm still pleased, though, because my fleet is intact and their fleet isn't. Unfortunately for me, that gives an opportunity for the Danish fleet to have a go at me. At this point, I see no reason to continue fighting here. We need to leave, but I'm sure the Danes will follow us. So it looks like I'm up for yet another naval battle. The Danes follow me, and I'm up for yet another naval battle. I'll take as many of them with me as I can, but this does not bode well. I should have moved my fleet away from this area as soon as I had the chance. There's little I can do about it now, though. Once more, to the seas. I managed to sink one of the Danish ships, but unfortunately we've just taken too much of a beating from the Dutch, so the fleet could not be saved. Every single one of them fought to the very end, though, until absolute destruction, as you will see, or as you've already seen, I should say. We have an offer of peace from the Prussians, and they offer me 8,600. Perfect. I am glad to accept this offer. We have one of our agents being detected. Not that that matters much, as he's on his way far, far away. We've got a mission issued. Crush the Royalists of Brittany. Capture. Oh, we get 10,000 and experience for all land units. We have a peace treaty with the Prussians. Our admiral unfortunately exploded. I hope they didn't. Sometimes it's weird when they're able to capture the ship at the very end, but I don't think they did. He exploded into a million pieces. We've got tons of troops being recruited all across the French Empire. And with that, we need to start moving. I think we should be quite bold. This area has nothing. So I'm gonna take... Who was this? Naval's army. And we're gonna do a preliminary strike on the Spanish. Taking out this area. No enemy armies to be seen over here. We might want to actually build this province up a little bit. The question is, theater. I guess I don't need a theater. It's better than to have a cannon foundry. The army of there is fine. Ney and Napoleon. Napoleon can actually strike the Belgians, and so can actually Grouchy. But I'm more interested in securing my rear by taking out the Royalists before they're even able to take up arms against us. And then we have Napoleon together with Ney setting up it at the Picardy-Champagne region before they're ready to march on and attack the Belgians. I'm gonna go ahead and boost this area with more troops. I want to be able to get them into battle as soon as possible. So we're gonna recruit 3 light units as well. We're gonna be on our way. In terms of what we should build, what do I actually get from Arc de Triomphe? Campaign movement range was be pretty good, but 20,000. I think we could find better ways to spend that money. And a lot of it would be tons and tons more of troops. And with 20,000, I think I can also invest in a lot better roads on the front lines. So we got that going for us. I'm gonna go ahead and recruit even more troops. So down here, let's get another 3 Fusiliers. And for this region, let's get 3 light infantry. And up here, we have a lot of guard units. So let's just continue with having like a bulk unit of Fusiliers to protect the center. And then from the capital, we might go ahead and start to get some cannons. We have old guard cannons might be needed then for Napoleon's army. We might bring a few of those, but then also we might go ahead and spend some money on some of the specialist units like the Polish. And then I have even more money. I will go ahead and spend that off camera, and we'll end the turn, and next turn we'll be able to strike at least the Belgians, and the Royalists will get to taste our steel. We're back after that end turn, and even more of our trade fleet is taken out, this time by the Spanish. The fleet was attacked here, forced away, and then sunk by this ship right here. At least it's not in enemy hands. Let's go ahead and start off over here. This is a clear out-resolve. The Royalists do not stand a chance. It's an out-resolve. Liberate it? No. We'll occupy it. It is, after all, our own region. We're gonna go ahead and build it up a little bit. It looks fine. Now we've got this area right here. I can start building ships. I'm not too interested in that right now, though. Then we've got the army up here, which we're gonna go ahead and strike the Spanish. I'm gonna demand surrender, and we're gonna go ahead and occupy it. Boom, I've captured that from the Spanish, and nothing to put up against that. And now we're gonna take Napoleon and Ney and their army, and we're gonna bring some hurt to the Belgian forces. The Belgians got 4,000 men against Napoleon's 2,500, although most of theirs is armed citizenry mob, which won't really stand a chance against such units as Ney's famed heavy cavalry, guards, and all kinds of stuff. With that, let's go ahead and have our first land battle. Initial maneuvers have been taken. Our two armies are about to meet each other. The Belgians are just off to the side of the town, and my troops just about coming into position. We've got Napoleon himself riding up next to the artillery, which is about to open fire. Belgian troops. And so is the 93rd Regiment, which is opening up on armed militia, which have moved against us over here. We've got the 3 Fusiliers lined up over here. We've got the entire Belgian force hiding down there. And we're about to attack. I'm moving over a few troops. We got the National Guard, they're just going to be guarding the cannons. I'm moving over the light troops, and I'm also moving over all the cavalry over to this side. Looks like the enemy has a hard time figuring out where they want to go. So I feel like we should hit them when they're disorganized. Meanwhile, the 85th Regiment Grenadiers are about to open fire as well on the enemy unit. I feel like the cannons... I didn't really get a good position early on. The enemy had deployed within the town, and so I was heading towards there. And as I got close enough around here, so it would have taken a lot of time pulling the guns through the woods, that's when they all decided to move out to the side here. And, you know, I could probably... No, the cavalry is hiding still in the low ground over there. We do have an armed citizen unit hiding over here. And we do have the enemy's general staff. Problem here is there's a lot of we need to get all the way up here to be able to fire upon them. I'm thinking if you head slightly over to that side. These forces will continue forward. You will just cover a little bit for them. I'm marching up here. You know what? I imagine they are within canister range, aren't they? Slay them with canister. Here comes the light battalions. We've got 3 of those moving in. Here comes all the cavalry. We've got Marshal Ney at the head of his heavy cuirassiers. Gonna set up and hit the enemy from over here. Right, I think you should run to position now. We are getting hit, however I feel like we could probably gain quite a bit of ground before we actually stop to fire here. We'll get the rest up here as well. I mean, this holding us back is too much, really. Start to set up the guns. The 85th Regiment will charge the enemy and will bring the entire force up here. And so we meet the enemy head on over here. Alright, the Voltigeurs skirmishing with Belgian line infantry. Belgian line infantry is going to taste steel soon enough. Alright, what's that? Enemy cavalry has decided to make an appearance. Even though they are moving in, I'm still going to charge. The 85th Regiment going to charge and dislodge the armed citizenry. Get the rest of the army on line here, in line with the rest of it. Everyone needs to get forward at this point. Okay, the cavalry joins the fight. The infantry will be sent away as soon as possible though, and I don't think the cavalry will stand, especially with Napoleon close by to support my troops. It's very unlikely that they will stand. We're crushing this regiment right here. Soon enough, when troops get up on this side, we'll be able to crush them. We've got the heavy cavalry over here. We got the chasseur and now also the lancers coming up. And then the light battalions will be able to come in. Once this one's dislodged, the light infantry will set up on that side. Hopefully I can even roll my cannons up to this and aid. It's taken a while for us to get rid of the enemy cavalry, which is no surprise. What I'm thinking we're going to do is we're going to form the 93rd into square, and then we're going to get the grenadiers inside the square, and in that manner we're going to go ahead and defeat the enemy army, or at least their enemy's cavalry. So the grenadiers are able to get into the square in order the square to fire. I'm going to break the enemy cavalry and then we're going to move up and start to push here. I think we will we'll go ahead and move even further forward here. And here as well. Have we... Wait, the Voltigeurs, have they hit a single bastard of these? Or what have they been aiming for? I think they were aiming for this guy. So they didn't manage to hit the single enemy unit. I want the lights to fan out right here. And then they're gonna take their place. Okay, currently the cuirassiers taking shot. They were deployed sooner than you know what, the guard or the what's it called, should go ahead and take position in the house. You know what, I'll have the grenadiers stay here in the square to protect the rear while the was 93rd will move forward. And there's a lot of Belgians down here. But they're moving forward. They're following the heavy cavalry. I want the heavy cavalry actually out of the woods. And then they can swing in around there. Here comes the lights. The Belgians have been advancing into the fire of the voltigeurs without being able to respond. And they've taken heavy casualties. Right, now I can actually march up even further here. Take more control of the battlefield. We're gonna get the guns rolled up there, and you can just imagine what kind of damage my canister is gonna do to the enemy. Their cavalry is coming again. But at this point I figure there's so few of them, they're not going to be able to do anything. Napoleon continues forward, light infantry. Light infantry will hurry forward. The voltigeurs will move to the back. And then we'll open up with these 3 battalions before the enemy is able to attack us in the flank, which looks like what they're about to do here. Right, light infantry, open fire. The enemy cavalry continues to harass from the back there. Not entirely sure where they're going. Napoleon can actually turn around. He does have pistols to fire if the enemy wants to get that close. I need to get the guns up here so I can shoot at the enemy. Yeah, he is going to go closer. I'm gonna ride up then with Napoleon, and from point blank range Napoleon is gonna fire his pistols. They killed a few of them, actually. Pretty good. I don't know if the square is doing much here. Right. It's probably time to strike, but I want to strike at the weaker troops out there, I think. Right, the enemy unit that was caught by the light infantry battalions, the light infantry battalions, absolutely destroyed. Here comes the heavy cavalry, charging in. Belgian infantry is caught completely unaware. You know what? I'm gonna order a bayonet charge, force them off, and give room for my artillery to set up here on the edge, firing canister right down there. Did we? No, the cavalry has rallied all the way back there. Right, my infantry have been successful in doing just what I set out for them to do. The heavy cavalry should continue going after the armed citizenry. The guns are about to set up. The 2nd Line Infantry Battalion should attack with the armed citizenry. And now Napoleon's guns got a perfect target here to fire upon the enemy. Wheel a little bit, get better position. I think Napoleon is going to go ahead and inspire this unit. It's lost a lot of manpower, which I find kind of surprising. Grenadiers go ahead and charge over there. Right, go ahead and get that unit in the flank. Boost the reload on this. And then I want to... Alright, they're about to turn and fire canister into the oncoming mass of Belgian infantry. Fire, damn you! Fire! Ooh. It certainly is. Right, let's go ahead and call in the charges on this side. The Belgian infantry is no more. The heavy cavalry has struck out here, all over the field. the enemy forces crumble before me. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys to fire at will. No wonder the house wasn't doing anything useful.
The men are fatigued, sir, and must rest a while.
I continue forward over there. Fire at those. The enemy general is forced back. Cuirassiers dealing with the Belgian line infantry. I'll go ahead and order all of these battalions forward now. Canister is ripping shreds of the Belgian line infantry. We keep on the chase over here. Actually, there is a enemy unit still stationed right here we need to deal with. The canister is about to devastate these guys, so yeah. Light infantry continue. Voltigeurs on the side, cuirassiers. Right, fire on that unit further over there. And I would say at this point that we are victorious. We've beaten the Belgians. Not that it was a very difficult fight, given that the Belgian army, this was mostly made up of armed citizenry. So we didn't face that much of a difficulty defeating them. But I'm sure this is going to turn around once we start to meet some more of the more proper armies. Although one thing that I will say, the fact that there's so many of these different territories held by smaller armies means that the AI is probably going to have a hard time coordinating all of that. And because they're like, you know, there's Belgium, there's the Netherlands, there's all these small areas, they won't be able to, the AI can't coordinate like that. So I think they would have been more difficult if a lot of these areas would have been controlled by greater empires instead. Cuirassiers make their charge. The Belgians, exhausted, don't stand a chance. The last unit to hold out is the armed citizenry, which is hanging out right there. At this point, there's probably a risk that my canister will shoot friendly troops. But there we go, the first land battle is done, and we stand victorious. As a result of that battle, we deployed 2,500 men against 4,000 of the enemy. I lost 600 against 4,500, or everyone of the enemy force died. Not 4,500 though, 4,051. In terms of who did what, Ney and his heavy cavalry killed 800, followed by the 12-pounder cannon killing 500, the 85th Grenadiers killing 450, Fusiliers, 93rd Regiment killing 330, and so on. Highest losses go to the 93rd Fusilier and the 85th. And then it drops off rather rapidly in terms of losses. And with that, I have actually taken control of the southern Netherlands and Brussels, the city of Brussels in the southern part of the Netherlands. This opens up way towards the Netherlands, which actually seem to have a proper army right next to the bridge here. We're gonna need to get more troops, more cannons up here to Napoleon and Ney before we can go ahead and continue on here and attack the enemy. And then also we got extra Fusiliers here brought up from France itself. Of course, this area, I'm hoping that it could hold on its own. It doesn't look like it's going to. We're gonna have to face a few rebellions, it looked like, before I'll be able to move Grouchy to join any of the developing areas. But I think it was a great start here. We have been able to capture 3 territories, which is just wonderful, right in the first episode. Now there's 2 front lines that we haven't done anything, and it's over here, where I think we're gonna go ahead and attack next video. And then we need to materialize some kind of army here to go into Italy. We need to strike everywhere as soon as possible to keep the enemy away and just gain the momentum, right? Fighting in enemy territory rather in our own. With that said, until next time, I will go ahead and spend the 19,000 that I have right now on building up my country. And by the next video, we should be ready to attack the Germans instead. But for now, I'll say as I always say, hopefully you guys enjoy this, and hopefully I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye.